Shalom, Yashala, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh. I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Yasharallah. Call Haloyim Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Harakah Kodash, for blessing our elders with the spirit of truth, so that we may know. Shout out to the Akim and the Akwaf that's keeping the faith in the works. Y'all keep at it. It's your brother Abaya coming at you with more precepts. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16 and verse 37. It says, Behold, the plagues draw nigh, and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side. All right? Sorrows shall come upon it on every side. And that's what we seeing, sorrows. We seeing famine of food, famine of the word, in a sorts, meaning you can't speak your whole mind without it being censored, right? And in certain areas, you being punished for speaking your full mind, right? We seeing nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom. We seeing plagues and pestilences. We seeing fires. We're seeing earthquakes in diverse places. All of this happening at the same time, right? We're seeing uproars of the people. All of these things are happening at the same time. And the events are becoming closer and closer and more intense. All right. Let me go to the book of Joel. The book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse 9. This particular plague I'm speaking on in this video is woe, woe, woe. Right? World War III. Right? Its birth pains were there too. All of the plagues have birth pains until it actually pops off. Right? Even the plagues of the laws of this place, right, that are becoming more and more draconian, speaking more and more like a dragon, right? The book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse 9, it says, Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Let the heathen be wakened, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. All right, all the heathen round about. So with that being said, I'm gonna let this video play and I'll be back.
As tensions continue to escalate between Taiwan and China, reports have now surfaced saying that the United States and Japan are designing a new joint military strategy for Taiwan against possible attacks coming from China. According to reports, the U.S. military and Japan's self-defense forces have now devised a joint draft operation to use Japan's Nansei Island chain as an attack base of sorts during any kind of possible emergency. The crucial island chain, which stretches from the Japanese island of Kyushu in the north to Taiwan in the south, holds a strategically important place for all the key players in the region. According to reports by Kyodo News, the proposed plan will see an undisclosed number of U.S. Marines deployed in the Nansei Islands. The two nations' militaries will then formalize an operation plan early next month, when their foreign and defense chiefs meet for the 2+2 framework. At present, the Japanese island of Okinawa hosts the majority of all U.S. military installations in Japan. China has not ruled out using force to bring Taiwan under its control, despite the island's claim that it is an autonomous region and will defend freedom from external forces. Taiwan's defense minister has warned that tensions between the island and China were at their highest in decades after a record number of around 150 Chinese warplanes, which made incursions into Taiwan's air defense zone in October alone. weapons to Pakistan, but they're nothing like what we're about to show you. Chinese soldiers stationed along the border with India have some new weapons. They were struggling to operate in high altitudes in the difficult climatic conditions. So China is bringing in robots to help. You heard that right. China is deploying robotic weapons along the border with India. There are machine guns on wheels. They can be fired with a remote control. Beijing's decision to give robots to the PLA could have dangerous implications, not just for this region, but for the rest of the world too. Our next report tells you how.
There is a new threat from China. It is not a battalion of soldiers or wolf warrior diplomats. It's these machines. Initially, they would remind you of remote-controlled car toys. But look closely, these robots can do a lot more. They are equipped with a machine gun. Chinese soldiers can fire this gun from a distance and without any wires. There are cameras too, to watch what the adversaries are doing. China calls this vehicle the Shark Claw. 88 of these have been deployed in Tibet. Shark Claw has a partner. It's the Mule 200. This is a transport vehicle, so not as lethal as the Shark Claw, but the Mule would be very useful for the PLA. It can be used to transport valuable supplies like ammunition. China has deployed around 120 of these in Tibet. Robots are now joining the People's Liberation Army. Their induction is a prelude to something more sinister. For now, a soldier will operate these robots. But in the future, China wants weapons with a mind of their own. The PLA wants weapons with artificial intelligence. Beijing is moving swiftly to acquire such capabilities. The efforts began in 2017, when China unveiled a new artificial intelligence development plan. It advocated the use of AI in the military. Specific applications were listed out, like providing support to command and decision-making, military deductions, and development of defense equipment and related application. Private sector was roped in to accelerate these efforts. Chinese big tech companies like Alibaba, Baidu, Tencent, Xiaomi, and Huawei were labeled as AI champions. The PLA stands to benefit from the rapid strides these companies make. Already, different wings of the Chinese military are working on specific projects. The PLA ground force is developing robotics for the military. The Navy is working on autonomous submarines, while the Air Force is developing drones with an ability to think. These advancements should raise an alarm worldwide. Unfortunately, world powers are still ignoring the threat. This month, the United Nations tried to open negotiations for an international treaty on autonomous weapons. They failed. None of major weapons-producing countries were willing to have a conversation. These stonewalling tactics work to Beijing's advantage. The PLA gets more time to perfect the AI technology and develop killer robots. Weapons that could make the world a more dangerous place.
All right, so these nations, they gearing up. They gearing up, man, for a war like never before. All right, whoa, that last war is going to be something else. It's going to be the last war on the planet. All right, the Valley of Jehoshaphat, Battle of Armageddon. All right, all of that's coming with World War III. After that, script said there will be no more wars. It's going to be straight peace on this earth when we get back into our homeland. Right? But this has to happen. And we can see it getting more and more and more intense, like a woman in travail, like a woman giving birth, like birth pains. Right? Whoa, birth pains. Right? So this is the book of Psalms 91, because the Most High says, as long as you trying to operate in the spirit of holiness and truth, you won't be involved in none of this. You'll only see it, right? You only see it. You won't get involved. You seeing it now. We seeing it now, right? But we're not running to join no military, right? We're not gung ho about a so-called country. We are sitting back watching it happen, and the Most High says that's the only thing we're gonna do through the whole ride. Yeah, we're gonna go through turmoil. We're gonna go through trouble, no doubt. Script says we're gonna go through Jacob's trouble, which is a time such as never was since there was a nation, right? But the Most High got us ultimately. So this the book of Psalms, chapter 91 and verse 5. It says, "Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day," right? "Nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked." This is the wicked reward that we seeing. Now they see it as, going to war to maintain power, or going to war to produce a new world power. But at the end of the day, this is the wicked destruction that we are witnessing. Right?
You have talked a lot about security guarantees, and now we've seen your proposals.
А вы требуете от меня каких-то гарантий. Вы должны нам дать гарантии. Вы. И немедленно. Сейчас. А не забалтывать это десятилетиями. Зачем надо было поддерживать террористов на Северном Кавказе и использовать террористические явные организации для попыток развала Российской Федерации? Но это же делали. Я как бывший директор ФСБ это знаю наверняка. Мы работали там с двойной агентурой, они нам докладывали, какие задачи перед ними ставили западные спецслужбы. Ну зачем это надо было делать? Наоборот, надо было относиться к России как к возможному союзнику, укреплять его. Нет, все наоборот. Попытка дальнейшего развала.
So look, it's funny how they dipping into history and saying that's why Putin is disputing, the arrangement between NATO and the Ukraine, because his predecessor, his forefather, said he is the one that created the Ukraine in the first place. And when you go into the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38, the Most High says he was going to put hooks into the jaws of Gog and Magog, which means bring them back to that old mentality that they used to have back in the day of wanting to rule and be respected as such. Right? We seeing it. Right?
Мы ясно и четко дали понять, что дальнейшее движение НАТО на восток неприемлемо. Ну чего здесь непонятного? Мы что ли ставим ракеты рядом с границами Соединенных Штатов? Нет. Это же Соединенные Штаты своими ракетами пришли к нашему дому. На пороге нашего дома находятся уже. Ну разве это какое-то избыточное требование? Не ставить больше никаких ударных систем у нашего дома.
Right, so they're supposed to be talking next month, right? And if you ain't been paying attention, they've been talking for a while. And that's the whole dispute that President Putin has with the daughter of Babylon. They talking. The daughter of Babylon say they're going to do A, B, C, and D, but they never do A, B, C, and D, right? They don't. They talk with a double tongue, and that's this place. Right, this place is full of deceivers, man, full of devils, man, full of devils. The people that run this place are absolute full-fledged devils. Can't believe nothing they say. And the world is seeing that. They've been exposed. Right? That's Isaiah 47, 1 through 3. This place has been exposed. Right? Can't hide it no more. And that's why they gearing up for this war. Right? And like I said, it's getting closer and closer. And they're supposed to talk next month. Yahweh Ratazah, when they do talk, they have an all-out fist fight in the middle of the White House, right? And declare war on spot. Yahweh Ratazah. Damn this place, man. Right? But script said we would only see this. We won't be involved. So the way that we'll see it will be through our salvation, and the salvation is coming through the chariots. Notice what's in the news today about the chariots, how the government is going to religious leaders, right, to get the information about the chariots to bring back to their people, to get them prepped up for things to come, right? This place knows it's over with. The sheep can't see it, but the Most High blessed His spirit of truth and spirit of holiness on His people to be able to see this. When I say His people, I'm talking about His people of His people, Israel of Israel. The Most High is Israel, Israel of power, right? But this the book of Revelation chapter 18 and verse 4. It says, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues." All right? That's us getting out of here. That ain't telling us to wake up. Now, true enough, yeah, wake up, get your mindset out this place. But Revelation 18:4 ain't speaking about that. Revelation 18:4 is speaking about that's us leaving this place before the plagues hit. We might even see a portion of it, right? We may see a couple of missiles explode, but we won't be involved in it. We'll be out of here with our new bodies, right? Changed up, switched up, ready to come back down, round them up, and get to rebuilding the earth as it was supposed to be. All right. Let me see. We'll go to the book of Zechariah to explain these plagues that we will be dodging. Yahweh Ratazam in that number. And if you're hearing this and you can understand, you in that number too, are the people who will only be seeing the plagues, not be involved. Right. But this is the book of Zechariah, chapter 14. And verse 12 says, "And this shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from Yahweh shall be among them, and they shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor." All out chaos. And all this going to be happening at the same time. Right? You're going to be seeing people melt away. Right? Through them ICBMs. That's what the Most High said is going to be. And that's what we're seeing. Right? Let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 15, to further express the means of us seeing the destruction and not being involved. So Revelation chapter 15 and verse 1, it says, "And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of power. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire." Right? That's the inside of the chariots. And it looked like he was standing on glass, but underneath the glass was fire. Right? It says, "And them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of power." That's us in the chariots looking down at Babylon burn, man. From the safety of the inside of the chariot. Right? That's a promise from the Most High. And I believe that. And Yahweh Ratazam in that number. And like I said earlier, if you're watching this and you can understand it, you are too. But these are the times that we're in. The birth pains are getting closer and closer and more intense. Right? So it behooves us to get our mind right, get our house in order, and maintain good works all through faith. Right? And Yahweh Ratazah will endure unto the end and be saved. Most High willing, if you heard this video, you watch this video, Most High willing, these precepts in this video were edifying. Call Haloim Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Harakah Kwadash. Shalom Yashalom.